Hello, my name is Danny. I'm your student nurse today. Today we're going to check for risk for aspiration and we're going to give you a tube feeding, okay? So first thing I'm going to do when I walk in is I'm going to shut the blinds for privacy. I'm going to make sure all the family's out of the room. And then we're just going to go ahead and sit you up, okay? So 90 degrees is where they want to be at for any type of eating. 45 is okay, but 30 is the minimum. So I'm going to go ahead and get gloves on. Can you please tell me your name and date of birth? Alice Jones, 8/27/87. Thank you, Alice. How's your day going? She said she's having a good day. It does say that she just had oral hygiene, so before I would have her swallow anything, I would do oral hygiene first, just in case she does aspirate. We don't want the extra bacteria down in her lungs. Are you comfortable sitting at this height? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to have my pin light and I have my tongue depressor. Can you go ahead and open up your mouth for me? She opened it. I'm looking for pocketed food, deterioration in the mouth, any sores, nothing like that. Can you go ahead and stick out your tongue? She stuck it out. It doesn't deviate to either side. Can you smile for me? She smiles. Both sides go up bilaterally. Do you have any trouble swallowing? Do you ever feel like things get stuck? Do you cough a lot or gag when you swallow? No. I checked for gag reflex. She does have one. Go ahead and throw this out. Next, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to look at your stomach, okay? So when looking at her stomach, I'm just going to see if it looks too distended or it doesn't look distended. She is pregnant. I'm going to go ahead and listen for bowel sounds. I would wait for 5 minutes in each spot, in each quadrant, if I didn't hear anything, but I hear sounds in each of the quadrants. Does your stomach hurt at all? No? Alright, and I'm not going to palpate because she's pregnant. I'm going to go ahead and look at her stoma for her tube feeding. It looks like you have a very nicely healed up stoma. You don't have any dressings around it. It's not oozing. I don't need to change the dressing. It looks like it's a very clean spot. Is this normal length for your tube to be out? Yes, it's normal? Okay. I would ask her that if she is coherent and conscious, because she's one of the best sources of information for that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and have you have a sip of water. First, I'm going to check her O2 stats. So I have a baseline, and they're in normal ranges. And then when she has a sip of water, I'm going to go ahead and feel the cartilage in her neck move. She took a sip, and I felt the cartilage move perfectly fine. I would check to see if there's any lumps in there to make sure that there's no maybe tumors or growths or anything like that that would impair her swallowing, and there wasn't. That's how I would check for risk for aspiration. And then so we're just going to go right into the next step. So I'd come in again. The doctor had ordered the tube feeding. Do hand hygiene. One more time, I'm just going to make sure it's the right patient since I am putting something into my patient. Can you say your name and date of birth? Alice Jones, 8/27/87. Thank you, Alice. So now that I checked, she does have bowel sounds. She has a gag reflex, everything like that. We're going to go ahead and get you ready for your tube feeding, okay? And she's already sitting up as close to 90 degrees as she can. So I checked her order and it says that we do not have to dilute her feeding, so I can just pour it right out of the canister that it's in. It's not open, expired, anything wrong with it. It's room temperature. My water is room temperature. Alright, Alice, we're going to go ahead and look at your tube again. So I'd already asked her if this is a proper placement for a tube, and she said yes, it's healed, it's not draining, there's nothing wrong with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is check for gastric content to make sure that it hadn't migrated or anything. I clamped it off. I'll open it up, take out about 5 milliliters, clamp it back, close this. So I took this out to check the pH level to make sure that we're in the stomach. I would put it into the cup, test the pH, and make sure that it is below 5, so that would be in the stomach. Next, I'm going to go ahead and flush the line. Actually, I'm going to see how much contents is in there before we start anything to make sure that she had digested all of her last feeding. So it's clamped off. I put this in. It has been 6 hours since her last feeding. It looks like I pulled out 35 milliliters. I'm going to go ahead and put that back into the stomach because I don't want to adjust the electrolytes that are in the stomach. Next, I'm going to flush the line. So this is it's just regular water. She's not immunocompromised or really sick, so I can use just regular tap water. I go ahead and pour it in there and let it drain. The higher I hold it, the faster it goes. The lower I hold it, the slower it goes. And then right when it just empties out, I'm going to go ahead and clamp it off again. And then I have my food that I'm going to give her. If it was a pop can type, I would alcohol swab the top off to get all the dust off, but it's not. I just twist off. So I pour it in there. Alice, how are you feeling? Is your stomach cramping? Do you feel any problems with that? She says no, she's doing fine. So I'm going to go ahead and unclamp it. And then we'll let that go in. And then clamp it off right when it empties. And I rinse it out to make sure that we get all of the food inside of her stomach. I'll go ahead and do that. And after it's in, I'm going to go ahead and clamp it off again. Alright, put that back. Make sure it's all cleaned up, that we didn't spill anything. Alice, how are you feeling? You're feeling good? Your stomach's not hurting at all? I checked her vitals again to make sure that they hadn't dramatically changed, but hasn't. She's not in any distress or anything like that. I would make sure to leave her up for 30 to 60 minutes after she eats or after the feeding. That way, her reflux wouldn't bring it back up, and then she'd be at more risk for aspiration again. And then I would document everything that I did, how much she ate, how much was in her stomach before, and then that would be it. Hand hygiene.